I think this is going to be more transformational on financial services and people's lives than the electronification of the equity markets, the electronification of the bond markets. Those took decades. This has an ability to massively accelerate transformation, and that's the beauty of the technology.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video breakdown, we're going to be diving into some XDC fundamental developments, showing you guys how behind the scenes XDC Network is a firm that is poised to become one of the railways of the future financial industry. If you guys enjoy these deep research dives, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the YouTube. We do appreciate the love and the support. With that being said, let's share screen and let's dive in today. We're going to start here with the most breaking fundamental developments that have taken place, but then we're going to show you guys behind the scenes how some of the things that these fundamentals are talking about are actually coming into fruition, not just showing you guys recent developments without showing you guys some previous developments that prove this to be true. So XDC Network News just posted this Real World Asset London Summit that's taking place right now is bringing big players into action. XDC Network recently announced the launch of the first 4 funds on its platform in token form in collaboration with CYPRX, the FCA-regulated digital asset exchange broker. These fund tokens represent 4 of the world's largest money market funds from providers including Aberdeen, BlackRock, Fidelity, International, and State Street. And if you guys remember, in a previous video breakdown, I shared with you guys what a BlackRock representative said on stage.
And maybe these first few phases are testing and challenging the chains to be able to handle the volumes that are coming. I think this is going to be more transformational on financial services and people's lives than the electronification of the equity markets, the electronification of the bond markets. Those took decades. This has an ability to massively accelerate transformation, and that's the beauty of the technology.
Keep in mind, they are telling you guys this stuff straight to your face. Now, because retail investors lack patience, they lack conviction because of, the turmoil that blood in the markets intraday can create on the mental, they're getting shaken out left and right, but they're telling you guys to be patient. They're telling you guys to stay the course, and they are literally showing you guys in detail via these fundamentals that these things are happening behind the scenes with or without you. So pay attention to detail. So let's go over to this Business Wire report. This is from today, February 24th, 2025. I won't talk about this, partnership, the collaboration with CYPRX, which I kind of just read over. I want to really focus your attention on what it says down here. It says providing digital representations of major money market funds opens up the potential new audience for these types of yield-bearing products that historically have been challenging for some to access, said Keith O'Callaghan, head of asset management and structuring at CYPRX. He said here, we are excited to hit this milestone with XDC Network, a firm that is poised to become one of the railways of the future financial industry. The implementation leverages XDC Network's delegated proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, enabling transactions with sub-second finality and near-zero gas fees. The platform's enterprise-grade infrastructure aims to meet compliance with institutional requirements for security, scalability, and regulatory reporting. That is going to play an important role once we continue down the rabbit hole and get into an Andre Casterman video that was posted just a couple of days ago via what he says. So pay attention to that. I'm actually going to highlight that in purple so that way we can come back to that. All right, full circle. So let's continue down the rabbit hole. In previous video breakdowns, this one that I posted to you guys roughly about 2 weeks ago, I showed you guys some ongoing closed door meetings that XDC Network has been a part of. And so I want to continue showing you guys that because this fundamental piece from Business Wire where it says, or not Business Wire says, but this Keith O'Callaghan gentleman, the head of asset management structuring at CYPRX said, XDC is poised to be a firm that, is building out the railways of the future of the financial industry. I want to actually show you guys that this is to be the case. So we're going to come over here to Jose Gonzalez's LinkedIn profile. He is the CEO and co-founder of DTG USA. And here it goes on to say in this post, he had an insightful experience attending the Digital Trade Industry Engagement Session hosted by the Infocom Media Development Authority, or the IMDA, whom we know XDC Network is a partner of, and the US Chamber of Commerce. It was exciting to see how initiatives like Trade Trust are leading the charge toward more secure and efficient global trade through digitalization. Trade Trust, we know, is a partner of the XDC network as well. A special thanks to Abel Torres for facilitating such forward thinking conversations. As digital transformation and trade accelerates, it's inspiring to see platforms like XDC Trade Network empowering SMEs with liquidity solutions. With our ongoing work at DocuShield, we are building towards streamlining document verification to support this transformation. And then down here at the bottom, you can see he even tags Sunil Senapati in this post, and XDC Trade Network and the XDC Foundation. And again, I'm just trying to show you guys that XDC Network is on the minds of individuals that are attending these closed door meetings. This is massive and just goes to show that in some way, shape, or form, XDC Network is known by those who are completely revamping the financial infrastructure behind the scenes in these closed door meetings. Okay, this is massive. And we can even see, again, here's that individual, Jose Gonzalez. He is the chief executive officer at DTG USA. And DTG USA, that's an interesting acronym to say 5 times fast, posted back on December 13th, 2023, Security and Zenfin partner to empower DeFi and compliance on the XDC network. So you can see here that the DTG USA X profile had mentioned XDC in a previous post. Therefore, they know for a fact that XDC network exists. Again, just putting 2 and 2 together. Now, this was an event that took place at the beginning of this year, January 13th to the 15th, 2025. In that previous video breakdown on YouTube, I showed you guys this, but just to reiterate and show you guys and confirm, statements like this from individual representatives at Archax are actually true. XDC Network is poised to become one of the railways of the financial industry, and you can see this happening right before your very eyes. The Global Stratologs is an exclusive series of high-level, closed-door roundtables and dinners that convene policymakers, private sector leaders, and academic experts from diverse backgrounds, disciplines, and think tank-style environments. And if we come over here, we can see the head of the XDC Network Enterprise Alliance and Ventures, Salo B. I'm probably butchering her name. I do apologize. She said here on her LinkedIn profile about a month ago, it was an honor and true inspiration to participate in the Global Stratologs event at the historic House of Lords in the UK Parliament in London last week. The 2-day program brought together policymakers, industry leaders, and academics to explore the role of AI, Web3, and robotics, along with tokenization, DePIN, and digital assets, shaping inclusive innovation in ecosystems. They were a proud sponsor of the XDC network, as this event featuring 4 impactful roundtables, which she participated in: designing for well-being with AI, AI robotics and neural technology, ethical AI and Web3, expanding financial inclusion and trust, and addressing regulatory hurdles and global banking accessibility, and tokenization, stablecoins, and CBDCs. Okay, so again, XDC Network participating in these private roundtables, literally talking about the future financial system and how AI, Web3, and blockchain are going to facilitate an important role. And XDC, boom, right there, was a major partner of this private roundtable. Okay, so I'm just here in an attempt to show you guys that comments like this being made, albeit this is a groundbreaking announcement right here, but comments in these groundbreaking announcements from these high-end representatives at Archax are actually true behind the scenes. They're not just like making this up off the top of their head. They know this type of information is happening behind the scenes. Now, I want to take you all to another recent development that was announced at the end of January. But first, before we get into that, I want to take you back to January 13th, 2023, because this just shows positive ongoing momentum. And these things that are happening continue to drive forward and continue to scale and come into fruition. Creator submits cross-chain and private solutions to BUIDL the future. Right? And this is from xdc.dev. I just want to scroll right down here and read this before we get into a more recent fundamental development. And it says here, additionally, the potential of cross-chain features of Creator infrastructure has been demonstrated through a successful transaction between a party in the XDC network and its counterparty in Ethereum. These transactions have proven that businesses can now take advantage of blockchain tech without having to put sensitive data or business workflows at risk. The successful transaction was enabled by Creator's unique cross-chain feature, which allows for secure and seamless transactions between different blockchain networks. This means that businesses can now take advantage of a wide range of blockchain-based services without having to worry about interoperability issues. Overall, the successful cross-chain transaction between the party and XDC network and its counterparty in Ethereum has demonstrated the incredible potential of Creator infrastructure. With its secure, trustless, and permissionless services, businesses can now take full advantage of blockchain tech without having to worry about data security or workflow issues, right? And again, this is from 2023. So let me just play this clip for you guys from Andre Casterman, because this is going to play a massive role in some recent developments that have taken place. Listen to what he says about the future of digital trade.
So the future of trade finance is going to be certainly more digital, but fully aligned with new regulatory developments that will be welcomed by the market.
Right? Okay. And do you remember, just to go back, that key highlight that we made on this recent development from 2025 today, February 24th, where it says down here at the bottom, the platform's enterprise-grade infrastructure aims to meet compliance with institutional requirements for security, scalability, and regulatory reporting. They're talking about XDC network, right? You heard what Andre Casterman just said. And if we go back to 2023, for remember this Creedor submitting cross-chain and privacy solutions to build the future, let's go to some more recent developments again. January 2025. Naya 1, driving digital trade transformation. Naya 1 powers the World Economic Forum's groundbreaking trade tech regulatory sandbox. This is from the 29th of January 2025. And I'm just attempting to show you guys again that these comments from high-end representatives at RChex, at larger organizations like RChex, where they're saying XDC is poised to become part of the back end of the future financial system, building out the rails. This is happening right now before our very eyes. So check this out. For anybody that missed this fundamental, this was massive. It says, Naya 1 is proud to power the World Economic Forum's trade tech regulatory sandbox, delivering in collaboration with the UAE Minister of Economy and the Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development. This groundbreaking initiative is set to revolutionize a global trade by leveraging cutting-edge technologies. I highlighted that ingredient. It literally says right there, by leveraging cutting-edge technologies, streamlining trade processes, and fostering a more efficient and inclusive equitable trading ecosystem. The Naya 1 platform is proud to enable the Global Trade Initiative with its digital sandbox platform by bringing together regulators, global enterprises, and innovative technology providers. The initiative fosters a dynamic ecosystem aimed at driving progress in the trade finance sector in a safe and secure manner. The initiative is supported by leading regulatory partners committed to driving digital trade innovation, including the Abu Dhabi Global Market, the Central Bank of the UAE, the Minister of Cabinet of Affairs of the UAE, and the Dubai Financial Services Authority. This inaugural cohort, I highlighted this in green, pay attention, marks a significant milestone in shaping the future of global trade infrastructure through real-world regulatory collaboration. That is a massive statement right there, again, considering what this development says most recently that was announced today from RChex, XDC Networks, platform enterprise-grade infrastructure aims to meet compliance with institutional requirements for security, scalability, and regulatory reporting. This is going to blow your mind, okay? So again, remember what I highlighted in green from this Naya 1 fundamental. The inaugural cohort marks a significant milestone in shaping the future of global digital trade infrastructure through real-world regulatory collaborations. Well, let's just go over and look at who is on this sandbox, all right? Trade Tech Regulatory Sandbox. This is, again, going to full circle everything and blow your mind. We are thrilled to introduce the 8 pioneering companies that have been selected for the first cohort of the sandbox. These companies will work closely with key regulators, including, and I already mentioned who those regulators are in the previous statement. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but look at these partners right here, okay? It says, look at these participants right here. It says Creedor, right? And Anegio, okay? If we go back to a recent fundamental panel discussion that Ray Fontes hosted with Sunil Senapati, head of XDC Trade Network, and Lingraj, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly, the founder of Creedor. Listen to what Ray says here.
Can you share with the audience other stakeholders that will benefit from your tech stack and how you aim to improve the trade finance experience? Again, mentioning you are basically the interface which these SMEs are dealing with directly, while your relationship with XDC Trade Network is providing you or empowering you with the infrastructure on the back end.
And here in this visual display, you can literally see XDC Network as the financial layer, Trade Trust right underneath of that, and then right underneath of that, you have Creedor as the documentation layer meeting MLETR requirements, right? And in this sandbox that just took place with regulators, you can see a participant of this is Creedor. This is massive, right? If you go over to the partnership list on the XDC Trade Network website, you can see right here, they have listed Creedor as a partner. And if we go over to the actual Creedor website, they have a whole entire visual representation of how their technology works. and how the infrastructure works at Credor. And you can see XDC network is listed right down there at the bottom. This is massive. And again, ladies and gentlemen, just goes to show how I started off today's video breakdown. I know a lot of influencers on the internet that cover XDC are going to talk about this, but not in the way that I'm talking about it now. I'm physically showing you guys how this is a true statement. XDC Network, a firm that is poised to become one of the railways of the future financial industry, an XDC Network platform enterprise-grade infrastructure aims to meet compliance with institutional requirements for security, scalability, and regulatory reporting. We can see this happening right now in real time. They have been mentioned in closed-door meetings behind the scenes with regulators. They have participated in closed-door roundtables with high-end governmental and regulated entities. They are also in partnership with organizations like Credor that are literally being handpicked for these freaking sandboxes, these regulatory sandboxes. Do you guys see right here where it says this inaugural cohort marks a significant milestone in shaping the future of the global digital trade infrastructure through real-world regulatory collaboration by leveraging cutting-edge technologies? And what technologies is Credor utilizing, right? They're literally utilizing XDC as their infrastructure layer. Okay, you cannot make this stuff up. So smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Here at CYPRX, always just piecing together things that the normal retail investor out there that just does price predictions and Fibonacci extensions and gives you guys random price analytics all the time never pieces together for you guys. All right. So to continue back to this regulatory sandbox that took place, we can also see, just to end it here for today, Inizio is listed also in this cohort via this regulatory sandbox development. And if we come over here on X, XDC Pools posted this just on February 19th, 2025. XDC Inizio Trace original product is implemented into the XDC network and has been since 2022. And then they list a whole bunch of sources below. So you guys can obviously, of course, take it upon yourselves to go and do that. But I just wanted to, again, show you guys that Inizio, in some way, shape, or form, even directly on Inizio.com, mentions XDC network, right? So this is massive and just goes to show that in some way, shape, or form, XDC Network is playing a massive role in the future digital financial ecosystem and revolutionizing trade finance. Before we hop off of here, I just want to show you guys two events that I'm going to be paying close attention to. Upcoming in March on the 13th, 2025, we have the Policy Forum for the Digital Economy Council of Australia taking place. You can see it says the DECA Policy Forum brings together 4 outcome-driven focus groups at Parliament House in Sydney on March 13th to address key industry topics, bringing together policymakers, industry associations, and experts across multiple verticals. These discussions are designed to deliver actionable policy recommendations as proactive policy papers. XDC Network will lead the Trade Digitalization Roundtable, contributing their expertise to this critical topic. So if you guys want to tap into that, here is their LinkedIn profile. You guys can go check that out. Another event happening later on in the year is we have another event from the Digital Economy Council of Australia. This is taking place June 16th to the 18th, 2025, the Australian Digital Economy Conference. So you guys can read a little bit about that. But if we scroll right down here, you can see their 2025 sponsors include XDC Network. So again, things happening behind the scenes that the mainstream are never going to bring to your attention. If you guys enjoyed today's video breakdown, do us a favor. We really do appreciate the love and support. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe so we can continue to make these types of research video breakdowns for you guys. None of this is financial advice, just because I personally think piecing all this together for you guys that XDC is going to play a major role in this new financial infrastructure and ecosystem behind the scenes does not mean that I'm telling you guys to go out there and buy the digital asset XDC. Always conduct and do your own personal research and assess your risk properly. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.